I don't always dive into the comments on items, but yesterday I seemed to be the topic of conversation. Frank, Guido, they had things to say about me. Let's talk about it next.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me.
What is going on, everybody? It's time to get jazzed, as we can see in the comments. Lido is with us. She's ready to get jazzed. Jay Birch calls it a Jazzerific Friday. Sean in Oregon, Jazz for Friday with y'all. Plant-powered fitness, jazzed for Friday. Yeah, all jazzed, man. I've actually had shirts made up. I didn't like the price. I'm trying to find some other place to go. But hopefully we'll have shirts out before the Christmas season, maybe. I don't know. We'll figure that out. So what's going on, everybody? What is going on? We got Chris Biesterfeld. We just watched your Scott Vandersloot podcast this morning. Will you ship to Europe? Ooh. I'd have to see the price on it. But I'll look into it. If it's possible, we will. Meredith says, good morning. We got Trained Olive in the house. Man, Craig Pasley. Lots of people. Man, love you guys. So, where do I want to start? Oh, there's Jody. Now we can get things started for sure. Lunchtime, what is the status of the road trip? So I think I'm going up tomorrow. I reached out to Masters Fitness Championship. I got media access for tomorrow. So, yeah. So I'll probably go up tomorrow. I've watched a little bit of it on stream today. Kind of hard to see everything. But stream was okay. But I think I'll pop up tomorrow for a little bit, do a little road trip. Not sure how long I'll stay. But at least make an appearance up there sometime tomorrow. So what does that mean, media access? Basically that I can bring in my camera. I can cover the event legally because a lot of the events, like you can't bring in a camera with a lens longer than X or Y or whatever. And I just reached out to the guys at Masters Fitness Championship, said, hey, I want to come up and cover the event a little bit tomorrow. Are you okay with that? And they said, yes, here's a phone number. Reach out to this person. I did. And so tomorrow I just have to text him when I get there. He'll come get me into the facility with all of my equipment. It's more of like getting through security with a backpack or equipment, Jay Birch. That's really what it is. Corey says the stream is decent enough. Sponsored by Bear Complex. Yeah, it looks like they have like stationary cameras that are remote, so they can spin and do a little movement with those. And then they have one guy on the floor, it appears. I wish they did more shots of that. But yeah, it's okay. It's good. It's good. So yeah. So where am I going today? I saw that Froning was coming out with a podcast. They had a quick teaser on there about are they de-affiliating? It's really, I watched all 90 minutes of it or whatever it was. It was really kind of a waste of time. Every time they approached a subject that has been a topic this week with whatever happened at Coaches Congress, they immediately, another person on the panel said, hey, I don't mean to interrupt, but they're this. And then they never came back to the subject. And I think it was a plan of theirs to like go to the edge of the topic and never really address the topic. The only thing I heard in the entire 90 minutes that was different than what we had heard is as Rich was addressing a question about communication in the space and that everybody, WFP, CrossFit, the affiliates need to sit down and talk to one another. They need to communicate. He knew Dawn Fall was in the crowd, and he actually addresses Dawn and said, this might get uncomfortable because Dawn is here, but this is what needs to happen. That is when Dawn then stood up and offered the meeting with Rich. And Rich said that was a good step. Doesn't really go into details beyond that in the podcast. So I did all that, and then I watched Chris Biesterfeld's podcast with Scott Vandersloot and got a lot more information on that from him, where Scott says their plan isn't to de-affiliate. They'd rather go forward together than go forward apart, that they think they can go farther together than anything else. And so that's not their immediate plan to de-affiliate. And that they believe in the methodology. They want to continue to do the methodology, and they believe in CrossFit and what it is. And they would rather just do that as a group as opposed to split off and try to create their own. Even though Scott says in that podcast that he does believe they could be successful if they split off. It's not really what they want to happen. So out of those two things, I think that's the most that I got out of that. And also he was asked about the Berkshire thing, and the Berkshire thing was that they were just there to kind of see what Mayhem does. It sounded to me in the way that Scott answered the question that it was about seeing their process and how they run classes, not necessarily a sit down meeting with anybody at Mayhem. So that was interesting. And then on Rich's podcast, Rich did say that his dad is creating fires that they are putting out. So who knows? Chris says that he wished there was video of Berkshire coming in, seeing what Mayhem was doing. My guess is, I don't know. I don't know. It would be interesting. But apparently they jumped into a class, at least a couple of them. And so they did the workout, according to Scott. So we'll see what happens there. So the other thing I wanted to dive into is he's here, Frank. Frank is back in the comments. And so I wanted to address a couple things that he said yesterday. I think yesterday he said these things. Yes, Rich Sr. is starting the fires. Correct. The original Rich Froning. Yes. So here's what Frank had to say about comments from earlier this week, and I will share them. I don't want to misquote him. I want to start with this one down here, because if you've seen on Instagram, Hiller had posted that Frank met with Dawn twice before Dawn met with Rich, and that was unusual. And so Frank here says that he met with Dave Castro when he was an affiliate owner. Dave set up a meeting with Dawn Fall because Dave thought the feedback that I was providing as a coach and an affiliate owner was valuable. Dawn met with me for over an hour, and again about a year later When I began organizing affiliates, Dawn called to tell me they were going to de-affiliate my gym, which had been affiliated for over 10 years. If I did not stop doing what I was doing, we had already informed HQ that we were ending our affiliation at the end of the year. When Dawn announced that the company was for sale, I emailed him communicating that affiliates were interested in buying CrossFit. He forwarded my email on to the company managing the sale. We never heard back from them. So while, Frank, I don't disagree that this may have happened early on, I do want to add some context to this. I think that since that time, it has been exposed that some of the things that you have done, like not paying your coaches, like not being an affiliate owner anymore while you're trying to organize affiliates, things like that, that may not be the case today. When I posted the reel of Corey and I discussing you and your delusions, that was shared by Dave Castro. So I've never had a reel shared by Dave before. And the fact that he picked the one of me saying that you were delusional and Corey agreeing with me, and that's the one that Dave shared, I think Dave's sentiments may have changed since the first time he met with you. So I want to add context to your comment for sure. Because I think that Hiller has done an amazing job showing how different reality is from what you are presenting. And I think while your concept initially was a good one, has fallen short of the mark ever since because of those changes in what in the statements you have been making. Frank, why didn't you put a purchase and a sale agreement with terms of purchase in writing with a deposit check? That might result in a callback. That's a great point, Jody. Trained Olive, in the words of NSYNC, Frank, bye, bye, bye. So, and then he says this later in the comments, everything he keeps saying has been proven to be not completely true. Like what, Scott? Not completely true. Just mostly true? Who proved it? Genuinely curious, or are you not being completely true? I believe that Andrew Hiller has done an amazing job. I'll say it again, of showing all of the things that you have been promising, and that behind those promises was not the truth. So, Frank, do you disagree that you did not pay your coaches? That they were waiting for paychecks for months during that time. You also throw out statistics that have been proven to not be true as well. You just throw out numbers willy-nilly, and people have very quickly discredited them. And I admit I've just been an observer of all of this, but it has given me a very clear picture of where you are and what relevance you have to the rest of this conversation. So with that, Ed AI, no one listens to Frank anymore. He is a joke. He will never own CrossFit. I agree. And so with that, I think we'll end that portion of the show. So in other news, yesterday, I did the show. I talked about Hiller's list of 24 athletes that may have used performance enhancing drugs. And with that, before I got out of my 1 o'clock meeting, which I had to jump out of, there was a reel made. I'm trying to find it. Maybe it's not up anymore. Oh, it is up. There we go. So here it is. I'm going to share this screen. So Hiller put up this reel, if people did not see it, clipping yesterday's show. List today, the 24 athletes who most likely have used PEDs.
Number 2, if you are on the list, you are not allowed to be offended.
It's a really interesting and very comprehensive list. Some of the evidence he gives for some of the athletes, you're like, okay.
You start to accumulate fat under the nipple.
When you get to number 3, the list of things he points out is very, very compelling.
I'm going to do the GOMAD diet.
I think number 3 showed up to be more possible than 2 and 1.
That's ridiculous.
So you get the point. That was made yesterday, right after the show. And in this, Guido Trinidad made a comment, and I did not make the reel. This was made by Hiller. I did share it on my story, but he made it, and he made the list. Guido said, haters always hate, typically because they cannot logically fathom having the genetics, the discipline, or the work ethic it takes to achieve something extraordinary. The irony is the person working so hard on this study is sitting over on the other side obese. So I'm getting strays from Guido after this happened, and I was really disappointed. It's okay. You want to call me fat? Call me fat. I am. I've worked very hard to reduce the amount of fat I have, but you want to call me fat? It's a fact. But I'm bigger than that, right? And so I responded to this because what really upset me, and I'll show you my response. Here it is. And I'll try to blow this up so you guys can see. Guido, I was just sharing what I was watching on a video. I find it sad that you as a leader in the CrossFit space would make judgments about my size. As a coach and an affiliate owner, aren't you supposed to reach out and help those most in need? You don't know my story. You don't know where I started my journey, and you don't know what work I've put in. I didn't make the list. Unlike you, I just watched it and shared what I saw with my audience. So that is his response. And then he did apologize to my response. Sorry. There goes the music again. Trying to find his response because it was very classy of him to do, and I do want to share that. Gosh, why can't I find it? Dang. Anyway, he did respond. I think I can find it in my notifications, maybe. Here it is. And it's not working. Anyway, he apologized. He actually did said very nice things, that he made a mistake. He made a judgment when he shouldn't have made it. He needs to look in the mirror because it is his job to help those people going through what I have gone through in my life. And he did apologize a lot and said that he really does need to look in the mirror a lot more. And you can see his full apology. It's very lengthy. And you can see it on the post that Hiller made with the reel of Shrek and me talking about the list of 24 athletes. So, well, I missed. Work ethic and discipline still need this, even if enhanced, but it's always called out. Everyone claims to be a genetic freak. Based off number of people claiming this, we are all freaks. Just got here. Why did someone say that to you? I don't know. So anyway. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. That when we make judgments on people just on a look and not knowing them, it gets to be a little bit crazy. But he did apologize. I know Trent Olive said something in here. There's so many comments. Gosh, I can't even. So anyway. Astroserve, it's really the irony of life that you, of all people, as an outside commentator, find yourself in the middle of so many things lately. I guess. So. Anyway, I just wanted to address that. I did want to thank Guido for the apology. It really did mean a lot that he took the time to write that out. I've met Guido in person. He's always been very nice and accommodating. So I was surprised when the shot came, and yeah. So there it is. There's that. What else is going on? You guys doing anything this weekend? I did. I talked to Jamie a little bit. She's up at Masters Fitness Collective or Masters Fitness Championships. That was fun. She said it's different than the old venue. It has more, and I this is my paraphrasing it. It has more of a local comp feel. It doesn't have the big the stands like the other place did. It's carpeted, so like it dampens the noise in the place. It's standing room only. There's no place to really sit down. They have 2 floors going back to back, trying to get everybody in throughout the day. So yeah, I'm going to try to head up there tomorrow and do all that. Hiller referenced TTT podcast where he stated the obvious: more muscle needs more oxygen uptake. It does not convert to better fitness. Corey says, knee-jerk reaction to being the target of a compelling Hiller video because you talked about it and you're a bigger guy. He decided you were an easy target to hit at. Maybe, but he was actually defending Noah. It wasn't about him being in the video. He didn't even know he was in the video until after his attack at me, saying that I put out this video, which I did not. And the beauty of the video that Hiller did is he doesn't come out and definitively say any of these people are on PEDs. He said, people have speculated it. Here's some circumstantial evidence. You make the call, essentially. And Corey and I were talking yesterday afternoon, like the Matt Frazier piece, right? He shows a picture of Matt Frazier at the games in the middle of a workout and the muscle mass he has. Then he shows a picture of Matt Frazier at the beach after he's retired from CrossFit and he doesn't have the same muscle mass. Well, he doesn't have the blood pump of working out, it being in the middle of a workout either. There's a lot of circumstantial stuff that goes along with that. And I think that it really, that's why he says, number 2, don't be offended if you're on this list. Take it as a compliment. And even Rich Froning jumps in and makes a joke that he was number 2, not number 1. And so I think people see PEDs, they see a list, they think that he's putting them on this list. He was just saying that here's the if you want to believe that they are, here's some circumstantial evidence. You make the call if it's enough to make it a definitive. And I was just commenting that number 3, the evidence that he presented was way more compelling than the evidence he showed for 2 and 1. That was it. That's the kind of list I want to be on. I need some PEDs. Being the least fit in my family blows. Yeah, I hear you, Dave. The Dan Bailey crowd has been surprisingly quiet. Wonder why? Well, Hiller explains it. Dan's just short, so everything looks bigger on him. And rule number 3 of the video is entirely his own opinion. Correct. Shame on you for having a personal opinion on something. I know. It's crazy. I'm sorry, but Hiller has tried a lot of stuff and I can't tell much difference. I know he's not working out as much, but he does. But doesn't he preach find a way and post workout videos? I think he's trying to do more workouts and he's trying to create a workout page for his Hiller Fit clients. So he's not working out as much as maybe a competitive athlete would because he's doing other things, but I still think he's working out. We come here for your opinion, Scott, so keep it up. I'm not going to stop being who I am, but I just wanted to defend myself. And I do feel like, and Athena and I used to have these conversations all the time about what it's like being a bigger bodied athlete and walking into a gym and nobody really knows where you came from or what work you've put in to get to the point you are. And when he hit that, I just wanted to make it clear to him as an affiliate owner and a coach, that attitude of judging someone on their physical appearance has no place in coaching people. The people that need you most are the overweight people. So that's what I was just trying to point out to Guido. Like, you're a leader in this CrossFit space. You started Wadapalooza because you wanted to have a more fit community. And that doesn't mean that only fit people walk through your gym. It's your job to take the unfit and make them fit when they reach out to you. And to make a judgment on somebody is wrong. And he admitted that in his apology. He said that he needed to take a look in the mirror and that he needed to be better. And I'm cool with that. All love for Guido. He responded, he apologized, he saw where he went wrong, and he has made good on it. And Guido and I are awesome now. Leave it to Scott to get Ken and I to agree. Hey, I'm all about making peace in the world. Mark, I didn't see this. I'm assuming we're talking about Alexis Raptis is having another surgery. Rough. When I'm at the gym at 5 a.m. and I see some significantly overweight people there, I figure, heck, you're here. That's way more than most people can say. Amen, sister. Train Olive. If I'm a member of his gym and I see that as his knee-jerk reaction, I'd be concerned how he talks about members. I'm going to defend him. He and Noah are super close, super tight. And I know when someone comes after my family, I want to defend them to the nth degree. And I've actually seen a therapist for this, that I get so angry and so upset when people come after my family that I say things that I regret. And so I believe that Guido should be forgiven. He sees what he did wrong and he's trying to make it right. And in my opinion, Guido is forgiven. We are good. I just thought it was an interesting subject to talk about because I don't think he's the only person that has done this as a coach and an affiliate owner. And it needs to be brought to light that this is not how to get people fit and get the right people in the door of your affiliate. Oh, not Raptus, Hiller's Alexis. Oh, that sucks. Oh, that sucks. Is it still the hip? Frida, like the old one, you aren't CrossFit fit from the start. You become CrossFit fit. That's it. Sean in Oregon, today I heard a CrossFit coach refer to non-CrossFitters as Gen Pop, as in general population. Is that a thing? Well, and that isn't that a prison term? I mean, that I don't know. Terry, I read his apology, very classy. Yeah, I agree. Again, Guido and I are good. I just wanted to bring it up as an example of how things work in the world. Jody Lynn, Meredith, where are you? If you ever can't get to that 5 a.m. class, we work out at 5 a.m. At the 5 a.m. squat club. So convenient and fun. Yeah. That is a little community that happens with a lot of the members of this chat. And they do some interesting things at 5 a.m. every day. And yeah, Alexis hip, but now it's her other side. Yeah, that's what Jamie's big worry is right now, because she's overcompensated so much for the hip she just had surgery on that she's worried that the other side's going to go because of that overcompensating for so long. Man, lots of stuff here. CrossFit is the cure for the world's most vexing problem. That it is. I think we can all agree on that. Love working out in my basement, but sometimes wish I had a box nearby to jump into an early morning workout. Yeah. I agree. I'm working out in my garage right now. It gets a little stagnant when you don't have the community around you. But once the cold weather hits, I'll sign back up for one of the 2 gyms I'm close to and start doing those to get back in the community. Any good football games this weekend? Any ex-QBs getting arrested? Dude, I need to catch up on the Sanchez thing. I know they're waiting on drug test results to see where he was with that. But man, the more the story goes, the more I'm like just perplexed at what the hell happened. How do you beat up a 68, 69-year-old truck driver as a former athlete? Crazy. Good football game this weekend. The big thing I'm focused on is Commanders, Bears, Monday night, second game on Monday night, Caleb Williams versus Jaden Daniels. And apparently they do not like each other. And it's going to be interesting. Yeah, he pled not guilty. They waived the first trial so he could leave the state. And then I believe it's later this month he has to come back for like a, I don't know, something else. As for the other games, I thought the Giants game last night was a blast. I have Cam Scattaboo in one of my leagues. One, I love saying the name Scattaboo. The way that he does a backflip after every touchdown is really freaking cool for a guy that is basically a bowling ball. He is short, he is stout, he runs over people, and then he does backflips in the end zone, and it is so much fun to watch. And that's why the thumbnail has me doing a backflip as a tribute to Cam Scattaboo. Scott, have you checked to see if those gyms near you are still affiliated? They are both affiliated. But anyway, I love watching him run. I love watching Jackson dart. The guy doesn't seem to know playbooks. He just kind of runs around, gets away from everybody, and finds someone open. And I know they're going to lose a lot of games. They're going to win some games. They're just really fun to watch if you're a football fan. That dude is going to have the craziest 4 to 5 year career ever. Yeah. He's got one of those, he's one of those bright stars. It's going to shine for a couple years, and then his body's going to be so beat up, it's going to be all over. Cam Scattaboo is 5'10", 220. The fact he can do a backflip is a testament to his athleticism. Amen. The Bears put out a video. God, I wish I could find it. I meant to they were questioning Bear players coming off the field and what they do in their spare time to relax and to get away from football. And the first person talks about the video game he's playing, but the second person is Tyson Bagent, and he looks in the camera and he goes, CrossFit, and he flexes down. If I'm CrossFit, I'm begging for that clip, or at least sharing it. He's the second person in the line, and his response to how he relaxes and getting away from football is CrossFit. And that's all he says, and he flexes in the camera and he walks off. That should be clipped, shared. Jenna Hauka, if you are listening, You need to get that clipped. You need to get access to that, and you need to share it all over the place because it is so freaking cool. What is crazy is that a QB got into a fight. Usually they hide behind their linemen. Yeah, they do. Except for Jim McMahon, he was a psycho. Yeah, he's the psycho I love, for sure. How do you relax and get away? I give myself Fran Lung. Ken talking about Cam Scattaboo. He reminds me of a combination of Eric Dickerson and Earl Campbell. I would say I'm old Ken. John Riggins to me, he seems like so much John Riggins. And again, John did not have a long career. That's just me. I guess I need to learn football if I want to keep up with this show. We're going to be mostly CrossFit, but occasionally like stuff happens. The Mark Sanchez thing, if you didn't see it, it was big news. Mark Sanchez was a quarterback of the New York Jets. He got into a fight with a truck driver in Indianapolis, ended up getting stabbed 3 times after he tackled a guy into a pile of pallets. The truck driver looks awful. There's pictures of him out on the internet where he's cut up all over his body. But Sanchez was stabbed because he was on top of the guy, and the guy is alleging that that's the only way that he could get Sanchez off of him was to stab him. And now Sanchez is charged with a felony, a 5th degree felony, I think, or grade 5 felony, whatever they call that. Sean in Oregon, this show is the most football talk I get all week. Yeah. There it is. So anyway, I think those are the topics I wanted to talk about. Sanchez was a rookie card flop investment. Oh, well, can't hit on them all. I hear you, brother. I was the worst card collector ever. I remember I traded like 6 rookie Elways for like 4 rookie Barry Bonds, and I got the wrong rookie card. It wasn't the one that was worth anything and all of that. So Noah is out of Rogue. Harry Lightfoot is in. I love that substitution. I'm excited about Harry Lightfoot in Rogue. I think that's awesome. Love it. Love that switch out for sure. I mean, Harry should have been invited from the beginning, to be frank. Sure. The problem is because of the new convoluted system and what gives you points. If you pick to do one of the 2 seasons now, either WFP or the game season and not the other, that hurts you in the Rogue points. And so that's wild to me. I think that's got to be remedied, but we'll see, because no way in hell should Noah have been invited ahead of Harry Lightfoot. So it is what it is. I don't know. I think that Rogue's going to find that they are inviting more by name of the past than the people that are currently the best athletes in the field. And that may hurt them moving forward. I think they need to tweak that. They need to tweak that system or that formula to get a better result of the athletes that they invite. And train Olive with the slam. Noah just needs to up his juice from Guido. There you go. There you go. Again, everybody, he apologized. I'm good with him. We don't need to rip on him anymore. And I think it is a good point that Lido makes. Harry is the fittest in the UK. You're having Rogue in the UK. The vibes that will bring for him compared to Noah, I think, will be wildly different. I think the crowd will be totally behind Harry Lightfoot, and you get that in his home area, where people can get there easily. It will be so much better to have him there than Noah. And honestly, guys, I like Noah. He has been nothing but kind to me in my time in the CrossFit space. I'm not trying to pick on him. I'm just reporting what I see. And Jenny makes a great point. Saxon was third on the qualifier. Interesting, he didn't get the backfill. So apparently they went with the formula to the next number instead of the qualifier to the next number. If I heard people talk correctly, that Harry, they said almost was one of the choices, but he was one place out. So I'm assuming they went with their formula as opposed to the qualifier. But what kind of, does Saxon have a scarlet letter now? Is he Hester Prim that he can't go do anything anymore because he shit on CrossFit for a period? Or do we open up the doors to him again? Like, I found it wild that Rogue only took 2 people from the qualifier. I mean, it's their choice. It's their event. They can do what they want to do. But it just seems like people are closing the door in ways so Saxon can't get in. And maybe this should be a Chris Biesterfeld topic, but conspiracy theory, are we holding out the guy with the scarlet letter right now? A 1,000 points for the Hester Prynne reference. Yeah. If they're blackballing him because of WFP, that's effed up. Yeah, I don't know. Lido says, welcome Saxon back. Holly says, I hope not. I mean, I don't want him blackballed either. I mean, he's a friend of mine. I'd love to get him on this podcast. I'd love to find out what the hell happened. Jenny reported this morning that there was a podcast done, that there was a mutual agreement that it not air. So I don't know what was said in that podcast. I would love to know. And Saxon has said he'd come on this show. I just can't get him scheduled. I don't know if he's being held by some legal issues or contractual issues or whatever. He was on the Not for Time podcast. He was, but it never aired. Plant Powered Fitness. It never aired. And John Woolley responded, if you watch Dense Updates in the morning, this morning's Dense Updates, she reported that John Woolley stated that they had come to an agreement to mutually agreed, Saxon and the Not for Time podcast, not to air the episode. That they are holding it. Maybe it'll be released at a later time, but at this point they felt like it would cause too much drama. So nobody should be blackballed because they chose one over the other, no matter how you feel about either one. I agree, Corey, totally. Rogue does not seem to the type to do that. I tend to agree with you, Judy, but I'm just throwing out the conspiracy theory. When I say conspiracy theory, that just means I'm making it up in my head. Most of the other stuff I have some background to, but if I say conspiracy theory, that is for you all to know. I'm just making this stuff up in my head, or what I see might be made up in other people's head based on the circumstantial evidence that's been presented. I really don't think that that's the case. Yet another reason to hit go live and see what happens when you podcast. I think that is the way for most people. I do think, as we said yesterday or on Wednesday, Corey, there are some people that do the recorded versions very, very well. I mean, what makes Hiller great are the inserts of the different comments and the different movie clips and the different Jay DeCoon stuff, the Brian Friend stuff. All of that is what makes those videos great. And he is, and he's awesome at it. And he shouldn't go live. Well, he can go live if he wants to go live, but I'm just saying, like, he does it really well. Rich Froning's podcast does it really well. Yeah, Mark, I don't think they care. I think they just decided they were going to go with this list as opposed to this list. I said conspiracy theory because I was just throwing something wild out there. That's all. Yeah, but that's you know, because you're my good listeners. I'm just letting you know that if I say conspiracy theory, I'm probably just making it up. But I would have said conspiracy theory on they're not selling CrossFit 2 weeks ago when I said it. And lo and behold, here we sit. They're probably not selling CrossFit. So just because I'm making it up at the time doesn't mean that it couldn't come true. Allegedly. And I know, Ken, you jumped in on my trading of my John Elway's, and you said to reach out to you. This was when I was like young. This would have been 91, 92 when I traded my Elway's away. I didn't even know who Ken Walters was. I didn't even know there was no CrossFit at the time. So anyway, with that, guys, that's kind of the news that is today. I'll probably be heading up to Masters Fitness Championship tomorrow. So we'll probably talk about that next week, maybe a little bit on Sunday night. Sunday night will probably be reserved for a lot of Crash preview stuff, as that is happening the following weekend. And I got Monday off this week, as it is Columbus Day here in Ohio. And so I get Monday off. Can't wait to get to sleep in an extra day. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. Judy Reed says, it's fun to hear what's going on inside your head. Some days it can be fun. Some days it can be terrifying. Let's just hope I broadcast the fun ones. With that, I'll see everybody next time on Lunch with the Clydesdale.